I always hated my husband's friend. Turns out I had a good reason.
Ooh, he's hateable.
He is hateable. This is really annoying me, so please excuse me if I sound defensive.
Don't be rash.
Also, yes, I have a short temper. I'm working on it.
Oh, boy.
Stop asking. Back off.
I've been married to my husband for over 2 years now. After about 6 months ago, a new friend joined their social circle. We'll call him Bob. By the way, this comes from Too Harsh or What? And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime. I really didn't have much to do with him because I have my own circle of friends and hubby has his own circle of friends, but he does have his friends over at our place for gaming or watching football, and I offer them an adult soda and some small talk, look at the photos of their kids, etc. But that's it. Met Bob a few times after he came over with a group to hang out at a birthday thing of hubby's friends that had plus ones. Didn't really talk much apart from, hi, how are you?
How goes it?
And small talk about jobs or whatever, because I tend to talk/gravitate to hubby's friends, significant others, as we're all in the same circumstance of being the plus one. I don't even have most of hubby's friends on my Facebook. Rough.
Lame.
And I'm pretty private, and usually hubby shares/tags/WhatsApps me if they post something interesting anyway. Bob, however, added me the day after we met, but I haven't responded to the invite. Anyway, 4 months ago, one of their friends was having a milestone birthday on Friday night, and they'd book out the bar's upstairs function area. I was heading there right after work, and because the area was unfamiliar to me, and I'm a punctual, paranoid, plan for hurricane sort of person, I really overestimated how long it would take to get there by public transports and arrived about 45 minutes too early. So I went and got myself a drink and settled into one of the couches in the corner of the bar with a book. It was pretty empty at this point and texted hubby to let him know I was early. I've never read a book at the bar, but kind of could be the move.
There are the speakeasy type bars where it's like, low lighting, like red walls, and then it's like,
I mean, I read books at coffee shops. I guess I could
level up your game, bro. Espresso martini.
Espresso martini.
Step it up.
While reading a book. Like,
you'll find your wife there.
I feel that's what I was just thinking.
Okay, you want to find your wife quick? Go to a club or somewhere where there's a lot of people, have a notebook, and guess who's going to be asking, oh, what are you writing about?
Go to a club with a notebook?
Yeah.
Yep. Club, or like one of the people come around, they're just hanging out, and it's not like club vibes, but it's like, bar vibes or something.
No, I want him to go to like a EDM rave.
Yeah. Or go to Jameson's on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And just start journaling.
And just be writing like,
yeah.
What are you writing about? Oh, I'm just journaling my thoughts and feelings. Oh, do you want to be my wife? Oh, heck
No, John, even better. What are you writing about? Writes note. And then you exchange notes back and forth.
Smart. That's cute.
Ooh.
That's cute.
Ooh, okay. Anyway, I got pretty engrossed in my book, and I was only disturbed one other time when a guy was like, great book. Can I get you a drink?
Ooh.
But lost interest once I told him I was married. I mean, fair.
Fair enough, dude.
Bob and two other of hubby's friends arrived about 5 minutes early, I think, but I didn't notice they'd arrived because I was reading and lost in the world. It's a good book, obviously. Anyway, Bob comes up to me. I'm still oblivious and really in my book, and asks if he can get me a drink. I didn't even look up. Just made a waving on with my hand and said, no thanks, I'm married.
Ooh.
Get away, Bobby boy.
Ooh, wrong person.
And kept reading. I know that was rude, but it really was an interesting book, so I wasn't really paying attention to the reaction. I was really into my book and didn't want to be disrupted. Anyway, instead of saying, hey, it's me, Bob, he goes, oh, come on, it's just one twink. Just one little twink.
Sus.
And I was a bit irritated. One, for being interrupted, and two, I said I was married and started saying, dude, I said I was married. And when I looked up and it was Bob and Co., I was all, oh, hey, I was in another world. Sorry about that. Closed my book and started making small talk and stuff. Anyway, Bob and friends decided to go get something from the bar too. And Bob asked me again if I wanted anything. And I said, no, thank you. I've had one already, and pointed to my empty glass. He goes, are you sure?
Bob.
Take no.
Nah.
Bob, don't build here.
Bob, shut up.
No, you can't.
Nice.
I told him I wanted to pace myself as I hadn't eaten, and I'm a small woman, and I get tipsy easily. And he just said, suit yourself. And I was just, whatever. Well, hubby arrived a short while later, and after saying hi, etc., went to get something from the bar. So, of course, he asked me if I wanted anything. I just asked him for cranberry juice and some fries, and he brought it back to me. And then Bob pipes up sarcastically about how I'm such a good wife for only taking drinks from hubby. And even hubby and friends looked at him a bit weirdly.
Bob,
get a job, Bob.
what are you doing? No. Talk to the hand.
Bob is building walls against all of his friendships right now. It was a bit what the F, but I just laughed it off with something about collecting credit card points. It was totally an awkward response, and the joke flopped miserably.
Yeah.
And someone else changed the topic because you could hear crickets. During the course of the night, Bob asked me if I wanted a drink. 2 more times.
Dude.
Bob.
Back off.
Back
I don't want to drink.
off.
And if I did want a drink, I would order one myself.
Dude.
Because I got a credit card. I got a mouth. I got 2 arms that I can give the credit card to the appropriate people and get a drink.
A brain to think and choose for myself.
I do not need you, Bob. I do not need you. Bob can't catch a hint. First time after that incident, I had gotten one again, so I just held my glass and then said, no, thank you another time. I just didn't feel like another drink, so I said, no, thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I'm done for the night. And again, he goes, are you sure? Bob's really concerned about you quenching your thirst. Bob is a hydro homie. Bob is like, girl,
No.
a beautiful woman like you needs 8 glasses of water a day.
Oh.
When I said drink, I meant water.
Bob, are you sure you're not being whack?
Bob's being whacked.
That's what I have to ask.
Bob's a little whack.
His jewelry, whack. His foot stands, whack.
over
Question.
and over and over and over again.
To all of you, what's Bob trying to do here?
I don't think we want the answer to that question.
He's trying to hydrate OP so he can bob in it.
Bobbing himself. And I told him I was good, and then he asked if I wanted an adult soda, juice again, and I said no, etc. Then he asked if I wanted tea or coffee. And I didn't because it was 1 a.m. and thanked him for the offer, but no thank you. And then he asked if I wanted decaf coffee, and I said no thank you again. Someone said Bob is trying to get OP drunk, or is Bob trying to slip something into one of those drinks?
Facts.
Honestly, like this is
Weird behavior.
such suspect behavior.
Yeah.
Bob.
I just chalked that off to him being overly solicitous, and maybe the booze was making him generous. He wasn't wasted but tipsy, and I didn't know this guy well. Since then, when we've met Bob at a bar or group thing, he always asks me if I want a drink, and no thank you is never sufficient. I always end up having to say no. I said I didn't want a drink, really firmly, which makes me look like a witch because he's always pushing. He doesn't do that with the other significant other friend. I was feeling uncomfortable enough to ask one of the other girlies. One time, when I got up to shout the table drinks because I wanted to top up, he actually got up and said, no, I'll get it, and I'll finally buy you a drink.
Oh my God.
He was a bit tipsy, so people laughed it off, but I found it a bit what the F. I casually mentioned to hubby, and he just laughed it off to him being a really nice guy and a bit tipsy. None of this is really bad, but I just have a bad gut feeling. Also, I'm getting a bit annoyed at Bob because he's not respecting my boundaries. And also, it's a bit off. I can't describe how. It just felt off and a bit creepy. A few weeks ago, he came over with hubby's friends to our house, and he was going on about how cool I was for letting hubby have friends over. And I just pointed out that the other of hubby's friends have friends over too, and their wives are happy with that. He just responded that they whinge about it, though. With me, I don't really care. I go out with my friends or lock myself in a study and play computer games with my headset, which is what I did today.
Nice.
Anyway, I emerged from the study to get myself an adult soda when Bob wanders into the kitchen and starts small talk. Wandering Bob.
Oh, here he goes.
Bob away, Bobby boy.
Dude, you want to drink?
He told me it was cool that I played computer games, being a woman and all.
Yep. That's Bob behavior. Bob behavior right there.
What the F? And I mentioned that a lot of my girlfriends play too. At this point, if it was another hubby's friends, he'd joke about setting him up with one of them or something. Then he asked why I hadn't added him on Facebook. And I played dumb and was like, oh, I'll have to check because I wanted to get back to my game. And also my guts have been off about this guy and I wasn't in the mood for small talk. And then here is the punter. He says, oh, God. Oh,
Say
God.
it. Say it. Say
Oh,
it.
God. Bob, stop being so creepy. He says, you know, if you were married, I think we'd be great together. Ew, Bob. Ew. Ew. It got me out of the blue, so I was stunned quiet for a second and then saw red, and I went off. There's that short fuse. But
Yes.
Bob, this has been an extraordinary long fuse, but
Dude,
he's given
right?
Bob so many chances.
Yeah, Opie's like, oh, I'm quit. I might be a little snappy. He's like, nah, Opie, you're being too much of an angel.
Screw Bob. Don't screw Bob, but just get him out of there. I was so outraged and stuff, so I started yelling, what the F? What are you saying in my own house with my husband right here? What the heck is wrong with you? You're disgusting. Who does that? That's just so effed up. I can't even, etc. And he's got his hands up saying stuff like, I'm just saying, I don't mean anything by it, etc. It just made me feel really cheap, like I'm some sleazebag that he thought he could say that to under my own effing roof. When my husband is in the next room to boot. Like, what kind of woman does he take me for? It still makes me angry. Hubby and friends hear this and come into the kitchen, and I just yelled at hubby. Like, I'm not angry at hubby, but pissed off in general. And I told him what his friend said. Hubby turned to Bob and a bit, what the heck, but not angry, pissed off, irritated, but not furious. I got angry that hubby wasn't angry. So I started yelling stuff like, yeah, you ask him what the hell. He's a piece of crap. How effing disrespectful are you to Bob? And obviously not helping the situation at all. Which, admit was wrong, but I was really shocked and angry. I think the blow up at Bob. All right, well, here, really, we're pausing right here. There's way more to this story, by the way. We're less than a third in.
Oh, baby.
There is juice.
Yoinks.
To squeeze. There's juice. But generally, on this show, we're like, don't yell, emotional reactions. You generally don't produce the effect that you want long term. Is any of this yelling like warranted? And the reason I ask this is because she has put down a hard line so many times, and Bob has crossed it each time. She's brought it up to her husband multiple times, and the husband's like, oh, like that's just Bobby's being nice.
Yes.
Like, I feel like at this point, you kind of have to, like, essentially what yelling is, it's saying like, you have crossed so far across the boundary that you need to be shocked to get away. I don't like yelling generally, but I feel that in this case, at least a little bit of yelling might be warranted. I don't know. I'm curious what you think.
One word: safety.
Safety, yeah.
Safety. This is now crossing into. We've already blown past like initial boundary crossing. Now we're getting into safety. It's like OP needs to and husband isn't intervening. Like, which it seems she pretty clearly communicated. Like, hey, this guy's like making me uncomfortable. And husband's like, what else does she have? You know,
and
very
also
limited
this is
tool set at this
this
point.
is not the first offense.
Yes.
This is not the first offense.
She told him like over and over and over again. The husband is helping. So and like also I will say like the things that she's yelling. If it was like go jump off a bridge and that kind of thing. She's mostly saying like you need to stop. You're being creepy. Like stop. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Heliana Bain says yelling when you're not safe can save you. It's a natural response to danger. Yeah, again, generally, I don't think it's a good move to yell. I feel in this case, because the boundary has been crossed so many times, he's being creepy. I don't know if like she's in danger necessarily, but I feel like this is just, I don't know, this is just so bad.
Yeah.
Zookeeper Sarah says in her own house too. Litha says, Sam, you yell so much.
Cold ouch.
That is true, but not at people.
Yeah,
I guess just at thousands of people.
Yeah. Only huge groups.
Nicole H says taser his balls.
Yeah, ouch.
All right. Well, we got more to this story. So,
oh baby.
Anyway, two of my hubby's friends shooed Bob out, so he left in a hurry, and I was still yelling stuff like, yeah, you piss off. You don't come back here, you F-wit. Anyway, Hubby pulled me into our bedroom after that, and I explained what had happened, but I was still angry, so my summation of the situation was, your slime ball friend said that we'd be good together if you and I weren't married. Not a mature way of communicating, but I hadn't calmed down yet. I was expecting hubby to be more angry at this, but hubby was all like, yeah, that's pretty crap, thank you. And I pointed out that he's said that while hubby was in the next room. And hubby agreed that it was crap, thank you again, and then wondered why he'd say that. I was very taken aback by that. Who cares why? So I was annoyed. I told hubby it didn't matter why he said. He's never allowed in this house again. Hubby agreed, still not angry, to be honest. His calm was starting to get on my nerves, so I went for a walk and hubby went back to his friends.
Ooh, I got a bad feeling about this one.
Conspiracy theory.
Talk to me.
Hubby wants a threesome with Bob.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, they're in on
And
it.
was sending Bob out as feelers. Or cuck theory. Caitlin Van Campen says the cuck theory may be correct. That's crazy.
If that is true, oh my God. Husband, what are you doing? Because it's already like
not the cuck.
Bob is not the move, and like even him bringing it up is already like, yo, what's going on? But if he had him do it in that way, absolutely insanity.
Frank the Pug
Insanity.
says loyalty test.
Oh, barf.
I think that is less likely than hubby a cuck.
Dude, I hate all these options.
I hate all these
Give
options.
me a new option, bro. I want D.
Yeah.
There's option D.
You want
Don't do
you
it.
want that D?
Golly.
Well.
I definitely don't. Not Bob.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we got more to this story.
Okay.
Again, we are only halfway through.
All right. I'm buckled in.
Now this is a story. Yes. Yes.
Where's the stairs?
Where's the stairs? All right. So I went for a walk and hubby went back to her friends. By the time I got back, hubby's friends had left, and hubby told me that Bob had just tried to say that Bob and I had a lot in common, and I just misinterpreted that. I told him verbatim what Bob had said, and then hubby started asking me about whether Bob had hit on me before. I mentioned the drinks thing, which he dismissed. And there wasn't really anything else apart from that because I don't see him and didn't add him on any social media. Anyway, hubby said that I should have responded by pointing out that if hubby and I weren't married, Bob and I wouldn't have met, which to me totally misses the point.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, if you hadn't been married, then, you wouldn't have met. None of this would ever happen.
So I asked hubby point blank why he wasn't more angry. Was he okay with girls coming up and telling him that if he wasn't married to me, they'd be good together? Hubby finally gets pissed off at this point and asks me what I'm implying. I told him that I felt his friend had crossed a boundary, and he didn't seem very upset and was defending his friend, making it seem like I had led him on or misunderstood. Hubby told me he didn't feel I'd led anyone on, and he wasn't upset because I was raging enough for both of them, which you can imagine did not make me feel better, and I was told, calm down because it's over, and I didn't take kindly to that either. Anyway, I've seen hubby's friends twice since. Bob has not been there because I've made it clear that I won't be there if he is, but it's now annoying that hubby's friends are making jokes about the incident like, can I shout you a drink or will you hit me? Or don't mention Bob or too harsh or what will go off. OP's username. Okay. At one of the events, I did rant to one of my friends' significant others about Bob and the whole thing, and she agreed with me.
Finally.
Even hubby is amused / joking. I'm still furious, but at least hubby will intercede a bit if he's seeing me get annoyed. I don't know why he's not more upset at Bob or his friends for that matter either. I don't know if they've seen Bob since. I would be furious if some woman said that about me to my husband. I think it's pretty obvious you don't hit on the spouses of your friends. Also, now I'm questioning if I'm being a huge, overreacting, crazy witch. Even my girlfriends are saying that even though Bob sounds sleazy, I should just put it behind me, but I feel very disrespected and cheapened, and now my temper has made me the butt of jokes, apparently. I'm not even the one bubbly sorts that gets confused for flirting. My husband is the friendly, chill one, and this whole thing has just left me feeling some unhinged or an over-analytical killjoy. It's actually made me feel a bit of distance from my hubby, and things are a bit tense but I'm still bothered by this. Thoughts? And we
Ooh.
do have an update.
Yes, I've got some thoughts for you.
Yeah, give me some thoughts. We
Yeah.
have an update. We have an update coming. But
I mean, I will say, I think, OP on OP's side, she's like maybe looking for this like specific type of reaction. It's like the frustration and kind of like flaring up in anger. Maybe someone doesn't have that exact same type of reaction,
yeah,
but as long as they understand the seriousness with which you take it,
Yeah.
which that is the thing that husband is completely missing. It's like, she's like, dude, like, number one, just in general, you should see that this is like, you know, he's like
problem.
encroaching on my boundaries. But even number two, like, I feel like my boundaries have been encroached upon, and he's not like he's not like, if it doesn't feel like he's like truly recognizing it. She's like, hey, like I felt really uncomfortable with this guy, and
Yeah.
why would you not want to
protect me.
protect you and make your partner feel heard? Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
what can we do to make you feel good, safe again? You
So
know?
I think if like the critiques that I have, first of all, Bob, absolute slime ball.
Yes,
Bob is a slime
Bob-
ball, confirmed.
Yes.
As for OP's reaction, I think she could have yelled at Bob, gotten husband, and just like, hey, husband, Bob needs to go, and then husband kicks him out. I don't think she needed to continue yelling, although I understand why she did. But I think
totally.
one yell, establish boundary, gross, talk to husband calmly, and then get him out. I also think the other thing that I wouldn't do is, like you said, expect the same reaction of like anger from your husband, because maybe he just doesn't experience anger like that. But again, going back to what you said, it's the lack of action that's the issue. But the hubby has not really done anything. So if he doesn't have an emotional reaction and also hasn't taken any action, then he's kind of useless.
Yeah.
You know, and it's on both fronts. He doesn't like I think you need one or the other. You know, so that's kind of what I'm. I think I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah, and also to give OP credit, she did say, like, she's like, I yelled this thing, and now that I've calmed down a bit, I was like, I didn't need to say that exactly or whatever. I think OP has enough self-awareness to be like, okay, I could have.
OP even
tweaked
admits,
it. Yeah,
like, hey,
yeah.
I know the yelling was wrong, but I was so angry, and like
Yeah.
she realizes this is something that she struggles with. But again, like, Bob gave her plenty of reasons to be angry.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Heliana Bain says it is gross, rude as F, and typical. But we have an update. We have an update for you.
Oh god.
You guys ready to get into it?
Let's dive in.
So, update. None of my hubby's friends or hubby himself took Bob very seriously. He hasn't been back to our place, but hubby has been seeing him socially elsewhere, and I stopped going to places where I knew he would be there or completely ignored him when he was there. The first time, he ignored me as well, but then a few times after he tried talking to me, never even acknowledged what had happened, and I just walked away and talked to someone else, cementing my reputation as a witch in the group. One of my hubby's friends, even laughing, suggested that I was avoiding Bob because I liked him, but then started apologizing profusely after he saw a mad glint in my eye. That comment stung, but I let it go. Bob did text me a few times like nothing had happened, random crap, oh, look at this funny link, hey, new video game is out, etc. But my overreacting self just blocked his number, and I told hubby I did this. Hubby was amused, but just seemed relieved there was not going to be another scene, although he didn't get why I was against the guy. I mean, she explained it.
Yeah.
I just can't explain what a strong gut feeling I had against this guy. I see why people thought I was a witch. There's no evidence really, but I just found his attempts at being charming and friendly just a put off. Sometimes when I first met him, it felt like I was in another body watching the conversation with him, doing it on autopilot. I felt that off about him. Anyway, yesterday, one of hubby's friends calls him upset. So hubby goes over, and what do you know? The friend found messages on his girlfriend's phone that Bob and her have been screwing behind everyone's back just about a week before I wrote that post. So about a month now.
Wait, so are they both, are like Bob and his girlfriend both running around?
So OP's OP's husband's friend's girlfriend
Yes.
is screwing Bob.
So Bob got the bright idea. Oh, if I go to my friends' wives, and I can maybe get something.
And he was right. And he was right.
And he tried to do it again with OP because one wasn't enough.
Bro, he's like, oh, I see the pattern. I'm pattern recognizing. Don't, Bob, just get out.
I feel sick. Like maybe if I had reacted more calmly, maybe people have been willing to hear out why Bob creeped me out and like spoken to him about it, which might have distanced him instead of getting all riled up and getting him support, which probably just encouraged him when he was banging my hubby's friend's girlfriend. But also girlfriend is for the streets too.
Yeah, what are you doing? Come on.
Anyway, hubby called and told me what happened, so I asked him if he needed to stay the night at a friend's house or the friend wanted to come here. I took the advice I'd seen on other threads and talked friend through on the phone on how to take screenshots and transferred them to his phone via Bluetooth, etc. And then he didn't want to stay by himself, so hubby brought him home. It was really kind of sad because as soon as the friend got here, he goes, "You'd be the only person to understand since you hate Bob's guts." And I kind of joked and said it was my guts that hated Bob, and his kind of watery smile just broke my heart.
Oh.
I had to look at these texts, and friend's soon-to-be ex-girlfriend actually confronted him about the incident with me. And he basically reassured her that, yeah, he did think I was cool at the start, but was quick to reassure her this was no longer the case, but was only persisting with contacting me because I was an effing snob and looked down on everyone. And she thought I was a witch too, which hurt because I had always gotten along with her. She'd even taken weekend trips, shopping, massages, etc. Oh,
Dang.
So they're talking about OP behind
Dang,
OP's
that's
back.
crazy. And was she comforting him?
She was
too?
comforting him and saw the text where they were discussing.
Dang.
Yeah.
What?
And but I think it may have been the text between Bob and the ex-girlfriend.
Ooh.
Yeah, because the friend's girlfriend confronted Bob about the incident, I
Gotcha.
believe.
Yep,
Or
yep,
it's either she confronted Bob.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
Um,
He deserves confrontation.
Anyway, the three of us sat there and had beers and chewed out Bob, and then friend was crying a lot as he was chewing out his girlfriend, so I left him with hubby and made the guest bed. And he was known for loving pad thai, so I sent him some just in case he got hungry at some point. I thought it was another
Word jujitsu.
I found this a bit later because I wasn't in the kitchen. He ended up, and even if it wasn't mature, I felt he deserved to, sending his girlfriend that they were through and she could F Bob all she wanted. Anyway, an hour later, she and Bob both start calling him and messaging him, but he blocked their numbers or didn't answer, not sure.
Good.
Then they must have started calling his friends because hubby's phone started going off. I'm not sure what happened as I was in the kitchen at the time, but I did hear hubby talking and then a friend talking to whoever else. I did hear hubby get angry at one point, and he explained to me later that someone had suggested after hearing that friend was at our house that I had turned Bob and girlfriend against a friend because I didn't like Bob. That also hurt because I would never do that. I'm short-tempered, not malicious, and I also get along with that person. I think I'm going to keep my distance from hubby's friends in the future.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not as liked by them as I thought I was. Anyway, both hubby and friend are sleeping. Well, I doubt friend is doing much sleeping, but tomorrow morning they are going to go to his place, box up whatever girlfriend left there. They don't live together or anything, luckily, and tell her to come pick it up. By the way, you should pick up new episodes of this podcast by listening to stories just like this. You can go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcast app, and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update, a quick update, but man, I mean, it really blew up in everyone's faces.
And can I just say, both husband and husband's friend group really not liking him.
Not liking them.
Husband's not really. I guess he's helping the friend now, but it didn't seem like husband. He never like fully 100%. I feel like took OP seriously.
Yeah.
With all that, and then the friends are like mocking her, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I
More
don't.
combos need to be had. I feel.
Yeah. And I also I don't like how the husband didn't really support OP in this.
Yeah.
Don't like it. But we do have a little bit more of the story.
Oh.
So I'm not really sure how to help friend through this. I've let hubby do most of the emotional stuff, but he is staying at our place for a few days. And on top of what I'd normally do for a guest, what can I do to make things more comfortable, even though I'm not going to help much? Just adult soda cans and runs, ice cream. Should hubby take him away for the weekend? I would just give hubby and the friend space. I think that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
But let us know what you would do in the comments below. And I think that's a wrap to the story. But we got one more story for you coming right up.
And I'm about to give it to you. My fiance postponed our wedding because he wants to stay with his cancer-ridden ex-wife.
I mean, she only has a little bit left to live. She only has a little bit left to live. Let her live.
He said it, not me. So Max and I dated for 2 years and have been engaged for 9 months with the wedding date set for early January. We have a healthy, honest relationship, and I've never had any reason to doubt him. By the way,
until now.
By the way, this comes from Engage Throwaway on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So he and Caroline were high school sweethearts who married young. You don't like that?
That's where it went wrong.
You don't like? Is there
Caroline.
Caroline.
some history?
No.
Caroline.
You know? Do you know?
Caroline.
No way you'd know.
I maybe don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
I maybe don't know. Anyways, deep cuts aside that John is out of the loop on. They were married very young. They were both 22, right out of college. They divorced after 2 years, and Max told me that they got married too quickly and didn't realize how different their relationship would be in the real world, i.e., when they both were working full-time jobs and struggling to pay the rent. They split up on good terms, but didn't keep in touch. He remained in our home city while she pursued a modeling career and began traveling extensively.
Oh, she's hot.
I think she kind of, I hate to say it, dropped the anchor and kind of soared to sights never seen. But 3 months ago, Caroline contacted Max over Facebook out of the blue, saying she was in town and wanted to meet for coffee. He agreed. Over coffee, she told him that she had recently been diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Her odds of survival were low, but she was determined to fight through it with surgery and chemo. She said that all she wanted was for Max to be by her side throughout the treatment. Wow. So basically, I'm trying to see the time gap between this. I'm thinking it's a few years, but that is kind of crazy. That she came back and was just like, yo, I know we were split, but I just want to be with you for these last few weeks. That's a wild
Romantic.
thing to find yourself in.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait, how long does she have left?
They don't say have an exact amount of time, but stage 4 breast cancer, odds of survival were very low. And she wanted Max to be by her side throughout the treatment.
Wow.
So that's a lot for Max to
yeah. I also, not that I don't want to believe everyone that says they have cancer. I do.
That's a lot of stories lately.
We've had some stories where people lie about cancer to get whoop in the pants.
If that happens again,
dude, it's a get out of jail free card.
Oh, not like 3 in one day. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Caroline's parents passed away shortly before she married Max. She has no siblings, and the rest of her family lives overseas. She describes Max as the closest thing to family she has left. I absolutely sympathize with Caroline. The next day, Max had her over to our apartment, and she was completely lovely, clearly trying very hard to be optimistic, even in the face of her life potentially ending before she turned 30. Which now, for context, they were married at 22, and then split up, and now they're 30. So it's been around 8 years.
Wow.
I feel terrible for her and the situation she's in, and I fully supported Max being there for her.
How much do you support him being there for her?
That's the question. It's a big question. I mean, this is complicated. Her first surgery was later that month. Max flew across the country. We live on the East Coast. She's on the West, and checked into a hotel a few minutes from her apartment. He's a writer, so working from his laptop is no issue. We spoke on the phone or on Skype almost every day for the 2 weeks he was over there. Caroline had her surgery at the beginning of June. Unfortunately, it was not entirely successful, and her doctors moved on to the next step, chemo. So to be clear, it's basically like, okay, so they're still going to try chemo next.
Yeah.
Max came home after the surgery to tell me this. He explained that Caroline's treatment plan was set to begin in July and end in late January. It would be an incredibly difficult time period for her, and she wanted him with her at all times.
Ooh. Oh, this is hard. This is hard.
My gut right now is you kind of can't blame, I guess, Carolyn for putting yourself in her shoes.
She's
shoot your
about
shot.
to die. She's about to pass away. Like, dude, she has every right to shoot a shot.
But you shoot the shot, but then the expectation is...
But not necessarily shoot the shot to the point where his shot is shot. Like I think like just before that, like
shoot the shot, don't expect.
Yeah, but like I don't even I feel like it's still bad taste to. But you're about to, who cares? You're about to die.
Do you want your honeymoon to be paid for? Yes or no?
We don't know if. Are you saying Caroline to pay?
Caroline, I'll take care of you in your final moments. Just change your will.
Dude.
Change your life insurance.
Riley is thinking in some 40
babe,
right
this is a financial opportunity.
This is an investment.
Look, her vision's getting blurry. I'll just hire a double. It's not that big of a deal, okay?
Dude.
Oh man. And Ness said, I wouldn't like this. I don't think many people would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like it if $1 million was involved?
I mean,
chat, name
I'd like
your
it
price.
more.
Chat,
yeah,
in the chat
name
below.
your price.
And everyone watching right now, comment below, what is your price?
Name your price
I
for
want to know.
your hubby spending every moment with his passing away ex-wife.
Ex-wife from 8 years ago.
And you don't know whether they're going to hook up or not.
And she could recover too.
So,
with that said, name your price, comment below. I want to see it, but we're going to keep going. Kimberly Fine said, this is hard is what OP's partner and Caroline's guts are saying too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Producer Riley.
I swear, babe, it's a new cancer treatment.
Oh, God. They say, hold on. I got to cook. I got to cook.
Let him cook.
Ease of life. What is it? Quality of life.
Quality of life.
Make it go up.
Yeah.
You're going out. You might as well enjoy it.
Exactly.
That's where we're at.
And you gotta, maybe by giving her some new life, she might live longer. A bunch of little new potential babies swimming around.
Slithy Toes, by the way, says for $1 million, done.
Yeah, I saw 250K.
Keep putting your numbers in.
I saw free.
Oh, God. Opie says, we can't afford to pay for a hotel until January, so he moved into her apartment, sleeping on her sofa. He's been there the past month, and we continue to Skype, though only a couple times a week now.
Oh, wait. He's already been there a month. So she agreed. This is the chillest wife in history. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And it's gone down in the amount that he's talking to her.
It's doing this.
Oh, he does not miss you. Oh, that's mean to say. But it's true.
Oh, dude.
Anissa Julia says $1 million plus if she recovers. I'm putting her back in the hospital.
Anissa's got a plan.
Oh, man.
When we spoke yesterday, Max gently told me that based on Caroline's condition, he wouldn't feel right leaving her so close to the end of her treatment.
Yeah.
He'd like for us to postpone the wedding until February at the very least so he can stay with her until the treatment is over.
No, he is no longer sure. He is no longer sure.
Babe, I can't go on the honeymoon. She might not make it. What about her?
Dude. Queen procrastination. Who saw this coming? Everyone saw this coming. This was a bad idea.
With her. Already living with her.
I mean, hey, I understand OP was in a rock and a hard place. How do you tell your husband to not see his passing away ex-wife? And you do that by saying, I don't think that is a good idea. Well, you say it. You say that. That's how you say it.
And it's like, okay, it's like super reasonable. Like, hey, I kind of want to reconnect and whatever. Like, hey, we'll visit and maybe chat more and we'll rebuild a friendship.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing to sleep in her house for a month and then postpone your wedding. Mm-hmm. We're getting to insane levels. Sorry for yelling.
Whew.
Opie says, I'm so conflicted.
I remember you was conflicted.
Yeah.
I hope.
I feel awful for resenting Caroline at all. She has cancer. It's okay, OP. She's suffering immensely, but the resentment is still there.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's okay, OP. You said.
Everyone watching, visual humor. Okay, OP. Mug.
Whoa.
So meta.
Yeah, dude. Back in the day.
Back when we were 4 letters.
You're welcome, audio listeners. It was a mug. But the resentment is still there. I resent her for needing Max constantly holding her hand as though she has absolutely no friends of her own. I resent Max, too, for agreeing to this situation. We won't be seeing each other in person for months now, on top of our wedding being postponed.
I don't know if you have a husband,
Dude.
after this.
He can't even visit, like...
Yeah, visit, bro, because I'm on the boat now. I'm on the boat.
This is crazy. It's way
again,
too much.
All right, well, question really quick. There's a lot more to the story, I know.
Yes.
But really quick,
Yes.
let's say, you have a committed relationship on the way to marriage, and an ex says, hey, I need you to spend time with me before I pass away, and I want every moment. At what, to what level do you acquiesce? Obviously, moving there and spending months is way too much. But what is the right amount?
I think first is go visit if she's staying in the hospital, wherever the case is. Get some coffee, reconnect.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
okay.
Right in this that beginning space, that's where things can go left very quick. And if she's like, "Hey, I want to spend all the time together," that's where you're like, and yes, you will feel like a dirtbag. But in reality, I'm saying not that you are.
Yeah.
You're not a dirtbag. It'll probably OP's like, oh, but she has cancer. Like, I feel bad. Yes, you might, or it might be hard to say, but it is so reasonable for you to say, hey, I'm not going to leave my partner to live with you, be with you every second.
Yeah. But I'd love to visit you. I'd love to maybe do some phone calls.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
There's a level where it's fine.
There's a level, but this is so past
so far
the level where this is okay.
And you got if you God forbid if you find yourselves in the situation, it is okay.
Also,
OP, it is okay.
The fact that he kind of did this doesn't seem like they had a lot of conversation about this.
It sounds like he was just like, I'm gonna go. I bet he still has feelings.
One that slipped away. She's a model traveling internationally.
Yeah,
with cancer.
Dude. She's just stacked.
Not mutually exclusive.
She's stacked. Yeah. I mean, not only is she a model that's super interesting in traveling, but he's probably already into her. But now she is passing away. Now there's even more reason to go see her.
Conspiracy theory. You know how OP was like, oh, they had these differences, splitting the rent and all this stuff. I think that's what the husband tells OP. Or what the spouse tells OP, because secretly spouse is a little butthurt.
Yeah, of course,
but doesn't want to admit it. Just saying.
Yeah, but she's like the McRib, limited time only.
It's true. And OP's hubby wants a little taste.
Oh, he's licking his fingers like Sam.
Also, some of you are thinking I'm cooking up a golden rule. You tell me what you think the golden rule is.
Ooh, that's a fun game.
Because
fun game.
I feel like there might be a rule cooking.
Let us know. Comment
Cancer
below.
rule.
Oh God. So Opie says, I don't know what to do. I have no idea how I'm supposed to feel. Right now, I'm just full of anger and guilt, and I don't know how to explain it to anyone else in my life. Also, I think some people may be saying I have a gecko.
I think I solved.
I apologize for my gecko.
Also, no, cancer is not sexy, and passing away isn't sexy. I'm saying it just means she is a limited time offer.
I think he's interested regardless.
I think he's interested regardless, but now it's like, oh, wow, I only have one time to get with her and be with this person. And this is my only chance. So it's just that the timeline is smushed.
Yeah. So sad.
Again,
Also,
like the McRib.
They're banging.
Yeah.
Come on.
Can't not be.
I
Living
feel like
in her
they are.
house for months. That's crazy. But we have an edit. Everyone seems to be in agreement that this is completely inappropriate. Yes. If not an incredibly sad situation that Max isn't handling very well. I'll speak to him either tonight or tomorrow whenever we Skype next and tell him in no uncertain terms that I want him to come home. There we go. OP, you deserve that. You deserve that, OP.
In the time of Skype? Oh, he's getting away with much more than
Back in the day. Oh, God.
Because you don't have all the technology of location. You don't
we're
know
not
where
tracking.
he's at.
Wow. Dude, he's my boy's getting away with a whole lot. But from there, we can decide what to do since I don't want to leave Caroline high and dry, dude. OP is too empathetic. OP.
Too empathetic.
But him living there until February is out of the question. And we have some relevant comments. Comment number 1. He is intending on living with his ex until February. Are you to do what? Just wait? No. Your resentment and discomfort is not wrong. I feel intense sympathy for her. For your partner, absolutely. Death is a terrifying, cold thing. But he's supposed to be with you. It was not her right to ask him to be with her as a husband. This is a horror. Did she ask you? My fear is, okay, so February comes, her chemo's done. Now she's weak and miserable from chemo. Is he going to leave her then, feeling like that? Great point. He should have not asked you over Skype. He should have been there in person. When is the next time you're supposed to see him? To which OP replies, we're not in a bad place financially, but we just can't afford a plane ticket every month. Then fly every 2 months.
Yeah.
He needs to figure it out. I've been trying to save up to buy a house after the wedding, not to mention the cost of the wedding itself. So to answer your question, end of January, early February, that's when I'm planning on seeing him in person according to his plan.
Well, I feel like you're going to save a lot of money on this wedding. That's not going to happen. So.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, that house, it's going up.
It's going up.
We're about to get a mansion, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Put that wedding money into a house for yourself.
Low key, super quick. I did hear this little tidbit once and thought it was kind of fire. It was basically like, hey, future spouse, do you want a crazy wedding or a crazy house? That's the question.
Where? Like in Bali? Because the amount you're going to spend on a wedding, you can probably get like a 3-bedroom.
It's true.
In Midwestern Ohio.
Dude, in North Dakota, we could get it popping.
We could.
That's
we
what
could
we've
get
learned.
it popping.
And we've got all our fans there now, apparently.
Yeah.
It's going great.
Yeah, dude, all our new radio fans.
Yeah, we'll be in North Dakota, but what are we going to do? Like, herd sheep?
Yes.
Herd cows?
Dude, you're listing your favorite activities. What are you talking about right now? This is your paradise. Oh, golly. But another commenter replied to that. So
I have a golden rule.
Oh, yes, please.
Just because your ex has an expiration date doesn't mean you can live with them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king with the golden crown has done it again. History has been made here. But dude, there hasn't been a new golden rule.
Hasn't been a golden rule in a while.
Yep.
Who can remember?
Yeah.
I can't.
No.
That seems more like
History.
a platinum rule, though.
Platinum rule.
A golden rule's sort of like, it's on the line.
This is the premium edition.
Yeah.
This is the
good stuff.
enter your card to subscribe edition.
You're welcome, America.
So a commenter replies, so just before the wedding, he expects to spend all this time away from you and then just marry you without getting any warming up time to get to remember what it's like for you to be close to him.
He's had some warming up time.
Oh God, he's way too warm. He's got some rug burns without him getting any cooling down time after having lived like a husband with his other woman for most of a year. This would be entirely unacceptable to me. OP, I can't figure out a way to phrase this delicately, so I hope you forgive me for my bluntness. If this relationship ends, are you going to be financially okay? The emotional stuff is one thing. This has to be incredibly difficult, and I admire your composure. But just in terms of strictly physical, if he says, I'm old enough to love her the way I wanted to when we were younger and give up on marrying you, are you going to be able to make it? I hope that you're saving something aside for yourself, something not just in a joint account if there is one. Which,
Prepare.
I mean,
Prepare.
at this point, you got to
prepare.
We're this far, you got to prepare. Also, super quick, I did know a person who, I don't know if he officially got engaged, but he was basically like, I am going to run around in these streets for a year. And then like literally day before wedding, cut it, get married.
Wait.
So he was basically engaged,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, I have 1 year. I'm going to run around and just sleep with as many people as possible for this year, right before I get married. And then, boom, flip the switch, get married.
What did their partner think of that?
They didn't get married.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I hate that some people's idea of a bachelor/bachelorette party is last year of freedom. I hate that.
Bro, a bachelor party lasting a year?
Yeah, dude. Oh, God.
That's crazy.
Crazy Procrastination says he can stay in the streets.
Yeah,
Yep.
honestly. So OP replies to this. Trust me, I'm feeling far from composed right now, but thank you. If we're looking at the absolute worst case scenario, the relationship ending, then the money that we've saved for the wedding and the house could be split between us. So that's probably a decent chunk right there. That's the only money we've got in a joint account right now. Otherwise, we keep individual accounts. So I should have enough to remain on my feet if I end up on my own. But I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Great.
And we have the big update.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Are we ready, gentlemen?
I am ready.
Quick prediction. Conspiracy
Prediction.
theory.
Oh, it's all going to come crashing down. He's going to confess his love to her. And then OP's going to be like, all right, I'm out. And then she's going to pass away. And then OP's going to and then he's going to come crawling back to OP and said, I always loved you more anyway. And then OP's going to be like, no, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Just to be contrarian, just to throw some hope in there, I'm gonna say Max is like, I have been the biggest idiot on planet Earth through my actions. I apologize tremendously, and it's gonna take a lot of time and actual work and action, and maybe they get back together.
You have a lot of faith. You have a lot of faith.
I am employing all the faith I got in my body.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
Let's find out. Update. First off, thank you all so much for your advice and words of support. I'm sorry that I couldn't reply to every comment, reply, or personal message I got, but I woke up to a locked post and over 100 unread messages. I promise I did read through all of them. Each perspective was incredibly helpful and made me look at the situation in a completely different way from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I spoke to Max this morning.
Yes. All right, some communication.
Communication.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
And what does OP communicate? They say, I told him that as terrible as I feel for Caroline, I didn't want him living over there until February. We're getting there.
Hey, I like this, but the fact that Max was like, I'm going to do this makes me still not have faith in the relationship.
Max is for the past.
Max is for the past. Slant rhyme.
He's been maxed out, dude.
He's been maxed out.
We gotta close out that person.
Yeah.
Minimize Max.
Minimize him.
Minimize Max.
Nice, dude. Right on fire. Now I suggested that we brainstorm.
I love that.
I suggested we brainstorm some sort of schedule that allowed him to continue visiting her. Even
Crazy. No, that's crazy, bro.
even postponing our own honeymoon and using the honeymoon money to fund his plane tickets.
Yo.
No. Wait.
No. Wait.
Oh.
We were doing good until we were doing bad again.
Yeah, Love to Eat says backbone growth, but probably is like 30 seconds behind where we are.
Yeah.
The backbone grew an inch and receded 4.
Love to Eat, hit that 2x.
Oh, my
Hit that
God.
2x.
Yeah, Love to Eat. Let us know what you think once you've heard this.
But babe,
Yeah.
instead of going to Cancun, I could just visit my ex more.
Dude. He's gonna, dude, you know what he's going to do? He's going to take the honeymoon money. Guess who's going to go on a honeymoon with?
Yep.
Stop.
Babe, she only has it's always been her dream, her bucket list to go to Bali with me and get married over there.
Dude. Also, just back to Sam's original conspiracy theory, and I hate to say it, guys, but we had this story like a lot in a row.
Yeah.
We haven't got the true confirmed receipts that the illness is.
That
100%.
is true. This is the time of Skype, dude. If I had Skype, show me her.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see the treatments.
Yeah. I want to see the IV. I want to see. I want to
man.
see those MRIs.
I don't know. She's looking pretty healthy to me.
Yeah.
with these stories, bro, they might need to do that.
Yeah.
Golly. Several commenters brought up her moving over here for treatment. No. So I mentioned that as well, offering up our spare bedroom.
Why don't you just offer up your bed at this point? You know what? Just move over.
Just take.
How about you take the spare bedroom? And you know what? Have Caroline in the bed with you and your husband.
Our house and wedding money.
That's yours.
Just
you know what?
Okay.
How about you just say the I do's to her instead? Come on, OP.
You're just making it more convenient
Where's the
for him.
backbone? This is confusing. This is confusing.
You're making it more convenient for the husband to keep going
Oh
on with
my
his, fiance.
God. Demonic says noodle spine reactivated. The noodle is there.
Reactivated.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
I emphasized that I didn't fault him for wanting to help an old loved one in what could be her final days. I mean, you can fault him a lot.
Oh man. Oh.
But I couldn't help but feel marginalized, especially so close to our wedding.
Yeah, OP. Yeah.
But what is
That feeling that you're feeling right now is totally normal. Again,
so normal.
Just because an ex has an expiration date doesn't mean they can walk all over your relationship.
Yes.
You know, ask yourself, would this be okay if she was not passing away?
Boom.
And then give a little bit of grace, and that's it.
And then stop.
And then stop.
And then
stop right there.
the end.
Stop right there.
Finito.
This is not okay. Please put up some boundaries to save your relationship, or don't. And I guess just let this husband show what a noodle case he is.
Well, what does Max have to say?
This is Ugg says low self-esteem.
We need some self-love.
We need some self-love.
You
We need some
deserve it.
self-esteem.
You deserve that.
An inability to put down boundaries is an inability to source and strengthen one's self-esteem, usually.
Well, what does Max say?
What does Max say?
Max didn't speak very much. Classic Max. Just listened while I rambled on. When I couldn't think of anything else to add, I asked him to just please say something.
Oh, I ran ahead.
No, get over it. Get it over with. Get it over with. Get it over with.
Okay.
Say it.
So he told me the truth. Caroline was never stage 4. She was stage 2.
Oh,
I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh,
I'm gonna say you called that.
Oh, stage 2. What does that mean?
That means they have too much room to do anything else.
That is a lot more manageable.
Can we look up what the difference between
From my understanding.
can we look up the survival rate for stage 2 versus stage 4 breast cancer?
Dude.
Oh,
And we know what's
man.
coming next.
Oh, yeah.
This is only the
tip.
beginning of the avalanche.
We're
that
trickle
about to
truthing,
experience.
y'all. We're trickle
The
truthing.
avalanche.
Judge Cassandra said you can recover from stage 2. Stage 2 breast cancer has 86% survival rate versus stage 4, which has a 30%. Also, just to look at that, that's a 30% after 5 years survival rate, even at stage 4.
So she might be alive for 5 years.
Exactly. 30% of them
If she
are
was at stage 4, she's at stage 2.
86%.
Right now.
86%.
Bro,
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna be giving him colon cancer because I'm gonna rip him a new one.
Oh, get him, Riley. Riley's here with the
He's
zingers
on fire today. Dude, watching Riley produce is like watching Picasso paint a painting.
That is true.
Watching
That is
Michelangelo put a brush on a ceiling.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, man.
Or just like get that little wiener on the statue of David just right,
oh,
you know?
dude, that little
Oh,
dink,
just-
it's done.
Not too scary.
He's kissing it.
Yeah, exactly. Not
Hey,
too
yo.
intimidating. It's like, oh, dude, I got something on the statue
That's why
of
they're
David.
small, John.
Hey, can somebody clip that? I didn't say anything. He reassured me that the rest of the story is true.
Oh, yeah. Believe everything
It's all
else I
safe.
have
It's
to
all
say.
good. Don't worry. It's cool. We're great. Caroline asking him to be with her, the initial surgery being unsuccessful, her cancer, her chemo treatment plan, etc., etc. But apparently her chances of survival are far greater than he led me to believe. Max said he lied because he felt it was the only way I could understand his need to be with her. You are telling on yourself.
What
You are
if you
telling
just told the truth?
Dude.
Again, we've already had, I feel like, a couple red flags already.
Oh, yeah.
This is another one.
Oh.
OPE, look at the flags in front of you,
Dude.
and look at their color,
Yeah.
and listen, please.
Yep. Do you want to say I do to someone that's been lying so much?
You can't even trust their I do's.
Not at all. He thought that if her situation seemed less dire than literally life or death, I wouldn't agree to him essentially moving across the country.
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah, no crap.
Exactly.
You are telling on yourself.
Because it's crazy.
Yeah, you were like, well, I had to manipulate you, or you weren't going to let me see my ex-girlfriend.
You wouldn't let me leave you, my fiance, to go live with the girl that I married 8 years ago, and then we got divorced. Dude. And way less, my argument, way less painful to just rip off the Band-Aid and be like, hey, she wants me back, I'm leaving. So what she knows, okay, this happened, I can now start the healing process. Yep. She's been stuck in the most painful limbo ever. And he's not even giving it to her now.
He's not even done.
Like,
he's saying this as a way to like repair the relationship.
Yes. If you're going to do that, the bare minimum you could do is like actually communicate and help her move on.
Like, and this is what you're saying. Why not just go with Caroline?
Yeah.
You know, you seem to like her a lot.
She has an 86% chance to keep going.
Yeah.
You already know how to take care of her.
And now she's a cancer survivor, hopefully.
Yeah, dude, that gives her more clout.
Model cancer survivor.
Bro, she's going to get more jobs. She's going to get more rich. Bro,
yeah.
This is the option.
Again, we're not saying...
Sorry, OP.
Right. We're not saying that this is a better option than OP, to be clear. I'm just saying, like, there were just easier things than just manipulating OP and putting yourself in this limbo. Like, this is the worst option.
Yeah.
He wants to...
if you're going to be a piece of crap, at least be upfront about it.
Be smart. Be smarter.
Be smart. He wants to have his cake and eat it out, too. That's what he wants. Hashtag eat out the rich. Never let that die.
Thank you.
Yeah, OP needs to grow back around this. This guy is terrible. Leave.
He admitted to telling her that our wedding date had postponed to next August.
Oh, my.
A lie. From February to August, a lie.
He's lying on both sides.
Dude, giving her the impression that him being away until February would be no problem. He has also been the one insisting on remaining by her side. After her surgery, she had given him permission to return home, and also
given him permission. Dude, you know what I think?
Tell me.
I think Caroline isn't even that into OP's husband. But it's like the closest thing that she has, and like totally friend zoned him. But OP's husband's just biting at the bit, trying to get in a relationship with her. But Caroline's the one like, hey, like, you know, you should go home to your wife. He's like, no. I can be there for you.
Because I think she said initially it was like she didn't really have any family members. So that initial moment of like, I feel alone, I feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Who am I going to go to? But literally the closest thing I can find. Yep. Which also, where's your friends? But even beside the point. And then he saw his opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Caroline, though crazy to ask, was maybe thought it was okay in her eyes.
Yeah. Just reconnect.
Because she's like, oh, this is just a friend.
Wait a minute. I read this messed up story. Basically, this girl, I think this is what Max is doing. This girl was really close to her sister. She passed away and then got with her boyfriend 6 months later. 3 years later, he did something really messed up, thinking it would make her go back into her depressed mood because he was the knight in silver armor or shiny armor.
Right.
And he liked that whenever she was kind of a damsel in distress, always moody, and he was like always lifting her up. He might like this part of Caroline and wants to stay around it because he's like, she's dependent on me. I can provide for her.
Yeah, savior complex.
Yes.
Savior complex.
Dude.
Catechus says, Sam, you're on it. I bet that's 100% help. She needed the help, and now she's ready for him to go. Hero complex, says Jellyba. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a combination.
Just when you thought this guy couldn't be doing it worse.
Yeah, dude.
It's somehow
this is
layers.
Dude, I cannot. I am enthralled. This is a top tier story right here. Top tier.
She had given him permission to return home, saying that it wouldn't be fair to pressure him into living with her throughout her entire chemo treatment. As much as she would have liked him there, he refused to leave. He told her that I supported this decision fully. By the way, if you want to support us fully, if you want to listen to 2,000 episodes of bangers,
just like this,
Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Search OK Storytime. We got 2,000 apps for you. But gentlemen, we got a decent little chunk left here.
Okay.
Shall we dive in?
Let's hit it.
Yeah.
Max swears that he's not in love with her still, but I just can't believe that. He lied to my face. Before she visited our apartment back in May, he warned me not to mention her being stage 4 as she is still extremely sensitive about it. And I completely bought into that lie.
Wow.
I trusted him. What a crazy thing to trust your fiance. Who would have thunk? He put his past with her over his future with me.
Ooh, bar.
Bars.
Bar.
I will be spending the next few months apartment hunting and canceling the wedding plans.
Get that big house, OP.
We got there.
Get that big house.
We got it. It was a long, painful journey, but we did arrive at our intended destination.
Let's freaking go.
Thank you for all of your kind words. And edit. I'm blown away by the outpouring of support I'm receiving. I wish I could respond to each of you individually. Thank you so much. This is a wonderful community, and I appreciate all of your thoughts. And there's some relevant comments too. OP says, if they end up back together, then best of luck to them. For all of Max's faults, he's technically been loyal to her throughout all of this. Oh, dude, OP is too nice. Too nice. I guess I'm just past caring. My goal now is to be out of this apartment before he comes home. I don't ever want to see him again.
I want to know what's going to happen to Max and Caroline.
Yeah, there's no more updates.
There's
This
no
happened
more
10 years
update.
ago. Yeah.
We do have some relevant comments, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a little tidbit. Commenter number 1, Caroline seems like a nice human. I bet she will see that he screwed his future over in hopes of rekindling a past romance. I will bet good fake money that she will tell him off eventually and he will come crawling back to you begging for forgiveness. No decent person can keep a booty cleaner like that and have a clean conscience. Commenter number 2, I can't figure out what his motive might be other than trying to get back with his ex. Commenter number 2, you're a regular Sherlock Holmes over there.
We're doing like gymnastics, man, to find out what this could be other than that.
So what would it be? Commenter number 3, how did he take the breakup? OP replies, he kept apologizing to me. Not very sincerely, though. He sounded tired, and when I said that I'd be moving out as soon as possible, he replied, yeah, that's probably for the best. Yeah, we know that's what you think. We know that. We know that.
Yeah, I do think.
Cooking on it?
I do think.
Tell me.
I mean, he's not mad because he's got something set up with Caroline already.
And was it the whole plan all along to just keep pushing OP until
until she was the one that was like, I don't want this anymore. Because it's easier to push someone away than to say, I don't want to do this.
Because he says, let's push the wedding back so I can stay with her and live with her for a few months. That is, I am a shrimpy jelly spine, and I just want to be a horrible person to you to force you to break up with me. That is exactly what that is reading. The one thing he asked for was my ring.
Recycle, reduce, reuse, and close the loop. Reuse that ring on Caroline and stop trading blood diamonds.
Well, we can make a golden rule about rings.
Yeah.
Like if they're heirloom, you give it back. If you amicably, you give it back. If not, it's yours, girl.
I don't think so. I think you give it back regardless.
You have to really, really F over because, dude, that's
what, dude.
If they steal money from you,
well, then it's just like a tit for tat.
But like, he's gonna give it to Caroline.
Huh?
He's just gonna give the ring to Caroline.
I think let him do that. Let her rummage through your past relationship.
Yeah.
I don't think you keep
that's a lot.
That's petty. That's petty over self-care because that's just gonna give. He's gonna be mad at you and then he's gonna try to go after you. He might sue you. I think that would suck.
Oh yeah, I guess you technically you can't do that because there's no marriage.
Duchess Cassandra says legally once it's given, the fiance owns the ring. Is that true?
Really?
Is that true? Oh, it is a gift. Is a ring a gift? I'm in support of the idea that a ring is a gift.
It's a gift, or is it a loan to you? I'm going to put this loan down.
Ooh.
That you're mine.
Yeah, is a ring a gift or a loan? Because I've always heard of it as you give the ring and then they give it back to you if they don't want to marry you.
The marriage is the contract. When you actually get married, that is like both like legally and morally the thing that makes it not a gift anymore. As long
you
as that
mean not a
contract
loan
isn't
anymore
broken.
or a gift?
That it's not a loan anymore.
Yeah.
It becomes
A
a
gift.
gift, essentially.
I agree. I think it becomes a gift on marriage. It's a loan up until then.
Can we poll it? I'm curious.
Yeah,
I see a lot
I
of people saying gift.
Yeah, gift or loan? I would love to know
It
in
might
the
be us
comments.
versus chat today.
I mean, I've never really thought about this because usually people are like, I hate you and throw back
Throw
the
the ring
you
at 'em.
know? Is a ring a gift or a loan? Let us know.
Let us know. But we're going to keep going here. So the one thing he asked for was my ring, which I agreed to mail to Caroline's address. I'm realizing that he checked out of this relationship a while ago.
Wow.
Also, the ring was not an heirloom. I looked at that, and she plans on going no contact with him. That's in the comments. So I skimmed them, and that was the
Yeah.
only two other things.
Right. Yeah, so far the votes are coming in early, but
Yeah.
Chad is saying a gift, aka if they split, then she can keep the ring. Essentially, is the idea.
Here we go. How about this?
Yeah.
I think here's a rule. Chat, let me know if you agree with this. If you propose to someone and give the ring, and the person who proposes breaks off the wedding by being unfaithful or just breaking off, then maybe the person gets to keep it. But if the other person breaks off the wedding by being unfaithful or just because they give it back.
I guess if we use that logic on this story, it does apply where Caroline can keep the ring because he was the one.
He's the one who broke
that
it off and
effed up.
was like, yeah.
He essentially broke the contract of hey, we're going to get married.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to live with my ex-wife for several months.
That being
Postpone
said,
our
I think
wedding.
the best thing, in all cases, would just be to give it back to avoid drama.
Yeah.
I think that would be best. But
Yeah.
chat's 83% gift.
Team gift.
Yeah, team gift. Interesting.
There it
I
is.
think I'm more team loan.
I'm not going to lie. I think I'm team loan.
I'm team loan.
Crucify me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let us know.
But that's where I'm at right now. But that's all we got for that story and this episode.
Yeah. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.